Welcome to the mind of LANCESCURV, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.
Let's see. All right, let me see now. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. If not, I'm going to have to stop this show and come back with it again. Let me know if you can hear it. Let me know. All right. Still no sound? Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm seeing yes, but yes meaning that you can hear me. Let me know. Okay, the sound is good now. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut everything I said off in post-production, and then we're going to start all over again. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go right on back, and we're going to start this bad boy all over again, and then I'll cut this part out. We're going to do it that way. It'll make it easier for me. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Wow, that's strange. I got to make sure. And I just knew I had everything right. We're going to do this all over again. Here we go.
Welcome to the mind of LANCESCURV, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.
Welcome everyone to another episode of LANCESCURV. It is January 23rd, Tuesday. And on the West Coast, it should be what now? 4 o'clock after 4? On the East Coast, it's 7:11. And in West Africa, it's 12:11. We had a little sound mishap, so for those who are just coming on in and saying, wait a second, this show's been on for a few seconds already, a few minutes already, but there was no sound. That's what it was. And now the sound is in, and everybody can hear, and that's good. I greeted everybody before, but I'll do a little bit of greeting, and I'll just pretty much say and echo what I said earlier. Indigo King, welcome on in. Black and Noble, Peaceful Pulley, Renee Green. Who else is here? Who else is here? Let me scroll on down. I want to catch everybody. Kay Levy, yes. Miriam Nambi, okay, great. You can hear me. Kasim, thank you all for being patient with me, because you know these things do happen. And I will say, if there is some type of glitch or some type of power outage for a few seconds, it'll shut me down and I have to come back on. And I'll probably come back on. The easiest way is to come on through my phone. It may not sound as deep or as whatever, but you know, that's the quickest way, because I have a couple of things hooked up and I have to push this on and push that on and calibrate it and make sure everything is working right. I'm going to repeat what I said when it was silent. I'm not going to try to make it seem the same way, but I'm just going to try to say, hey, you know, this has nothing to do with the topic, but when you have a good day, which I'm having right now, and when you have a bad day, which I'm not having right now, there are reasons for it. Now, we all know this. I just want to kind of remind and put it in our mind. When we have a good day, many times we say, oh, we had a good day. No. No. It's a learning experience, y'all. When you had a good day, it's not just something that happened to you with the skies parting and everything just happened just nicely. It happened like that for a reason. And why I say this is that you have to analyze why you had a good day. You may not grasp it all, but try to figure out the factors involved which made it where you had a good day. The same way when you have a bad day, just don't write it off to just circumstantial chance. No, it happened that way for a reason. Pinpoint why you had a bad day. Maybe somebody pissed you off, maybe whatever it may be. You know what it is in your day of things that you don't like that added up to it not being a good day, but a bad day. Pinpoint it and extract it, examine it, and say, okay, you're not going to come in my day again. This situation, this person, this energy. And when I see you coming, I'm going to avoid you. Or I'm not saying to hit anybody, but I'm just saying smash the energy. Usually you don't want to smash it because that means you're engaging in it. So you want to be like Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. You want to be a defensive genius when it comes to these energies that get around you to suck your energy down and make it where you don't have a good day and you have a bad day. But when you have a good day, you want to replicate those factors involved. Replicate it, duplicate it, make it happen again. Well, I had this for breakfast and it made me feel good. I heard this song while I was eating breakfast and it made me feel good. I took my time going to work today by leaving a little early and enjoying the commute. You see what I mean? So sometimes there are going to be things that are beyond our control. So you can write that off like a tax write-off. Well, I couldn't control that and it messed up my day. But other than that, when there's factors that you can control, make sure that you jot them down or make a mental note of it and replicate it. And then try other things too. That may add on to the good day. But make sure to take care of yourself. Self-care. We're moving into some rough times right now. Now, I'm not projecting and saying, well, it's going to be rough and it might be good. I'm just saying be prepared for that. You have insurance on your vehicle because if you have an accident, you want to be covered. It doesn't mean you want to have an accident. Right now, some people who are shysters do that. I got all this insurance. Now let's stage an accident so we can get paid. That's a whole different thing, right? You have a fire extinguisher near in your kitchen, just in case hot grease burns up and gets on you or burns. You see what I mean? You don't want that to happen, but you're prepared. And when you're prepared, you move through life like a sharp, hot knife cutting through butter with ease because you have your bases covered. I just wanted to say that. And also, we have to always give thanks to those who have fed into us. Lots of times we take those people for granted. We have to have thanks for those people, whether they're here or not. And when they're here, you must thank them. You must show them love. I was looking at some old video of Dick Gregory, and I was like, man, I would love, I was probably 2 or 3 weeks shy of getting an interview with him. And then he transitioned. I was like, whoa. I would love to have talked to him, even if he cussed me out for saying the wrong thing. Because, toward the end of his earthly journey, I'm not making fun of our brother, but he had no patience. Huh? What? Huh? And that little froth start build up in the corner of his mouth. What are you? And start cussing out the interview. But you know what? He's been through so much and he knows so much that he had a sense of urgency. I wouldn't have gotten mad. It would have been an honor to get cussed out by Dick Gregory. I'm just saying that. But I look back at people that have transitioned, Michael Hamer, Brother Holler, Black and Noble, Brother Holler, and other brothers that may not have come on the show, but have sat down and talked with me, even before I knew what the internet was, that have fed into me. That have given me magic powers. And it's not magic. They have given me the electricity. They've given me the benefit of their melanin and their whole total experiences. Do you know how important it is to sit down and talk with individuals and vibe with them? Because you can ask one question in one area and they can tailor it to you. Instead of you having to go to a library or go on the internet and search endlessly for something. And we have the real life force behind it that they can imprint you with their righteous life force. Now, you don't want any unrighteous life force. There's a lot of us walking around here like that. And it's a thing where when they transition, you might transition, right? It just means to another level, but you walk with the benefit of having vibe with them. You carry their light. The moon is not the sun, but the moon reflects the light of the sun. So we get moonlight even after the sun is on the other side of the earth sometimes, and we get the benefit of that. We see stars that are so far away that they have already supernovaed out and they don't exist anymore, but they're so far away that the light still hits our eyes and we can see the beauty of what it is, even though physically it may not be there anymore. So what light are you reflecting? What light are we reflecting in life? With the pettiness, with the gossip, with the whispering spirits, with the bad-mindedness toward one another. What are you reflecting? What are you into? And is that energy going to carry on beyond your existence? And the other thing I wanted to say is that it always hits us when we're in traffic and we're behind that vehicle. And say, for example, in the back of the windshield, it says, rest in peace, RIP, whatever the name is. And then you begin to do the math. You say, man, rest in peace, 1995, 2015. They lived for 20 years. And here we are in 2024. And for most of us, I think we were born before 1995. And if not, it's not a slight to you. It's just an example. And we say to ourselves, man, like myself, this is 2024, 1963. So you mean I go back to the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s. And yes, I do have very vivid memories of life in the 60s in Washington Heights / Harlem, New York, right? Coming into the 70s, a black exploitation period. And we go from one serious period to one party period, and it's back and forth. It's just amazing life. And we see ourselves in this time now and how the world now is being engineered on how to think. We were more free thinkers back then. We read more books back then. We had more meaningful conversations about things that we vibed with back then. Now we're controlled zombies trying to fit into an engineered system that doesn't like us. It only uses us for what it can use, and it really doesn't want to use us. It will rather use somebody else so they can benefit. It doesn't want to see us benefit at all. So I say, leave it all alone. That's what I say. Yes. Kevin Wedderburn, welcome. Jeff Sparks, Queens, New York, welcome. Welcome. Patrick Gilbert. I'm glad you all are here. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm just a servant. I just think I have a lot of time to think, more so now than ever before. And I wanted to benefit not just me, but whoever else can get a little motivation from it. I don't claim to be anything big, whatever. I'm just a guy now that got a little older, has a little more time on my hands. And yeah, we all have struggles that we continue to go through. And in the struggle, we can make each other laugh while we're in the trenches of this war. But it doesn't have to feel like a war, because we can comfort each other. We can show the camaraderie and connectedness. And that's why they want to have us disconnected. I'm sorry. They don't want to have us connected. We need to be connected. Man against woman, black man against woman, black woman against man, confusing the role of the black man so the kids can see something and run off and do something different. Rainbow is a beautiful thing, but not the rainbow the way they have it. And you know what I mean. So what is YouTube going to come and try to knock me down for that? You know, let me get into this topic, y'all. It's just something I wanted to touch on. It was requested by someone, so I said, okay, let me jot down a few notes and cover it. I'm outside of the chat room. I got one computer up. The other one's making too much noise with this broken fan. It's going to come back and mess the sound up. But what I meant to say is that the topic, the name of it is The Dark Realities of Being Blackballed and Its Far-Reaching Consequences. We've used the term blackball before. And the definition is blackballing is a social or organizational practice involving the exclusion or ostracism of an individual, often without formal documentation. It can manifest in various sectors, silently impacting one's professional, social, and personal life. You know, before I even read my little bulleted points and stuff like that, most of us know what it is to be blackballed. The bad part about it is a lot of us blackball ourselves within our melanated family. We run with things. You see, we have this internet now where we can smear characters and tell people not to be involved with people because they're bad people. I had that happen to me upon arriving out in Ghana, to be honest. And I've had a lot of turncoats in my inner circle that basically they wanted the popularity for themselves. They wanted the clout for themselves. They thought I was going to come here and blow up and be big. Blow up and be big. Be big what? I don't think that way. I'm not a narcissist that way. I just do my thing. I'm bigger than any little category that you want to fit me in. And people try to blackball you because they fear you're going higher. It doesn't even have to be because you did anything or anything perceived. But we blackball each other all the time. You see what I mean? So I had this individual try to convince all these people that I was such a bad person. But the thing is, I ask, you know, I'm an outgoing person. I'm a warm person and outgoing, but I'm also an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, meaning that as much as I talk, as much as I'm out here, there's times where I'm doing my research, I'm reading, I'm drawing, I'm working on the website. I'm quiet then. You know, there could be a crowd of people around me. I've had situations even out here in Ghana where when I had the apartment, I'm in my own home now, but there were groups of people outside of the door. And I'm like, I'm not going out there. I got work to do. This stuff I want to do because those people were not vibing on my level. I'm not saying that on a condescending way, like I'm better than anybody, but I'm not going to waste my time when I'm a lightning rod for other things to pull things down. Thoughts that tapping me on the shoulder. Hey man, what about this? Talk about this. What do you feel about this? This is in my own head. I'm righteously haunted. I got no time to sit here and worship somebody like they're the leader or something. You know what I mean? So if you want to turn everybody against me because of that, then do so. You're helping me because there's less people to bug me. And I mean on that, let's pull him away from what he wants to do. Those who are here in the chat room, we're vibing together. We're on the same wavelength. And this is why I can get so much done, because I'm focused, righteously isolated. And to all those who have smeared my character to keep people away from me, you made it easy for me, like I said, to cut through my work and content and life like a hot knife through butter. Thank you for the help. It worked in my favor. And that's all I have to say. So, shadow banned on YouTube, social media, and all that. So what? It's not going to stop me. When you have a destiny, when you have a mission, no matter what, you're not going to stop and you're not going to compromise. This is not me complaining. No, I don't complain. Life is beautiful. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, but life is beautiful. You can find some way, some solace, some peace of mind if you focus and just relax and look at how beautiful life is. Don't ever let anything take away that ability to laugh, the ability to vibe with the close people. And if your inner circle is ever diminishing, understand that's a blessing. That means that the energies that you don't see are working in your behalf to remove the trash. Understand that. And then when you do have quality people that have a certain energy, the time you spend together is even more amplified. Like me being here with you today. It's more amplified. Because I don't have to deal with this and that and all of these different entities that have their hidden agendas and secret motivations. No, it's cut right to it. Let's get right down to it. You see? Not to be adult, but I'm going to say something in a funny way. I was cut with something. When you don't know somebody, when you're a man and you don't know that woman, you got to wine and dine. And of course, you're going to do nice things, whatever have you. But when you're in that relationship where you ride or die together, wine and dine, ride or die. I'd rather the ride or die. That almost rhymes. You can say, listen, sweetheart, I got to be out of here in 10 minutes. You're looking kind of good. Come on, baby. It's no problem. Because she knows what you stand for. You know each other. You can do the quickie and it's okay. She still loves you. You try that with the one you wine in the diner who's not into you because she just wants something out of you. And it's going to be a little problem. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to go there too much. We'll do that for our late night shows. But that was a definition of blackballing. Number 2, and we're going to number these out. The reasons for blackballing. I'm going to read them down and I'll go through each one. Misconduct or ethical violations. Whistleblowing or speaking out against injustice. Political dissent or activism. Personal conflicts and disagreements. Non-conformity to established norms. Controversial statements or behavior. Okay, misconduct. That pretty much says it all. Misconduct. You have the bylaws and the written rules in a company or the unwritten things in a friendship, and you do a little misconduct. Well, if you're blacklisted, when you break a law that's written in stone, that's one thing. They can tell you, hey, this is misconduct, whatever. When you're blackballed, it's a gray area. It's a shady area. Sometimes you say things in jest and you step on somebody's foot by mistake and you hurt their feelings. And it's not an official thing, but you hurt their feelings. So they might blackball you. They may not want to be around you, or they may go out and try to smear your name. Or the ethical violations. There's certain things you don't do. And I know here in Ghana, it's a different culture. So there are things that people may do that may be insulting to me on a slight, or just a very slight level. And there may be certain things that I do that they take as a slight. It's like being here. Many people are like, have you eaten the Ghanaian dishes? And I'm like, yes. And well, do you want this now? And I'm like, not really, because I don't like the hot stuff. And I don't like too much starch. And many people have gotten upset because the way I see it, it's not a vast rotation like what I'm used to eating. So it's an ethical thing. But they're not going to blackball you from that. They may not invite you to dinner anymore, right? Whistleblowing or speaking out against injustice. Whistleblowing or speaking out against injustice. Well, then, if the blackballer is against you doing that, that means they're no good either. But now whistleblowing has to be done a certain way. Because some people who got their hustles going on a job where maybe say you work at a warehouse and there's a couple of employees there who are working along with the guy who drives the truck of the items that go out, and they don't check off enough on the list, but they put more in the truck and the guy who drives the truck drops off 10 of the expensive items somewhere else. And if this maybe 10 of you involved in this and they have 10 items, well, you get paid 10 ways. Somebody whistleblows on that. Is it bad? Is it good? Well, I mean, if we're somewhere where they're doing harvested organs, and we find out in a hospital that there's a certain wing of that hospital where they're doing organ harvesting, well, why would you be quiet when little black kids are missing and they're doing something like that? And they blackball you. Well, hey, blackball me because I'm not going to have this happen on my watch. And when you speak out against injustice, well, guess what? Social media will blackball you. They will make your stuff not go out. You see? They'll remove subscribers and your channel is cancerous now and diminishing, but there's more ways to skin a cat. But when you have that conviction inside of you, you're not going to stop speaking out against injustice. For what? Because other people don't want you to speak out on things that they're doing to others? No. Even if it was somebody, it was a little Spanish kid, a little white kid, no, I'm not going to have that on my watch. I'm not going to say, well, they ain't black, so I'm going to go on. Because you got a lot of black folks out here who are doing things against each other, who will roll with something like that. Well, you know, I ain't going to say nothing as long as you pay me. Those are just as much demonic entities as anything else. Political dissent or activism. See, when you're doing the activism, the politicians can't control you. Political dissent, well, if you have a different ideology, especially now we're speaking in America, they're hypocritical there. Don't we have the right to speak? Don't we have the right to have a different opinion? Off the record? No, we don't. On the record? Yes, we do. So we decide how much activism we can do before blackballs us and bites us in the backside. I don't care. I made it through. I made it to 60 years old, and I want to make it and leap more decades and keep the fire going inside of me and keep talking and keep doing. There have been things thrown my way to compromise me. No, I'm not going to do that. So now it's time to smash you. You're not going to smash me. If you come to smash me and I see you, I'm going to smash you back. They like to scare people who are activists and make examples of them and buck break them. Bring them out in front of the whole bit of those who are enslaved. Not slaves, but those who have been enslaved. And take the biggest and the strongest and have somebody go up in their anal cavity to show this is what can happen to you if you buck against the system. And too many of us in America are afraid, and all over the world are afraid. And I did not leave because I was afraid, because I was speaking the same way when I was there for many years. I worked in the jail, in the prisons there. I drove the bus there, had strange cars pull up to me next to me on the red light and threaten me and say little things, little cars follow behind my bus. I'm like, all right, I will run you over if you come to do it. If I see something in your hand the wrong way, we're going to see some activism, because you're not going to take my life. Be ready to bring yours. And I mean that, and I live that. And this is why I put myself in a better position so I can do what it is in my heart to do and enjoy peace and quiet away from certain factions. But I tell you one thing, all the factions that are in America are right here in West Africa. No matter where you go in the world, you're going to have the turncoats. You're going to have those who compromise to keep blackballing you, but you cannot blackball me. You can't. You could take me off the internet. I'll go in the corner somewhere to bullhorn somewhere. I'll draw pictures and you won't even know it's me. It's wide open. Personal conflicts and disagreements, you're going to have that on the job. You're going to have that in a corporate organization. You're going to have that in a religious organization. You're going to have that on a sports team. You're going to have it. You're always going to have personal conflicts. And personal conflicts to me is like a car accident. I'm just going to check back on my screen, make sure everything is going good. If you came into the room and I didn't greet you, it's because I'm talking and I have my one computer. I usually have the chat room on something separate, but I'm bouncing back, so I can read what I said. But you're always going to have personal conflicts. Kimberly Lindo, Keto Kamali, music, yes. Oh man, I fumbled the ball, sister. I got to get you an address. I'll get you that address as soon as this show is over, and I have to get it to Renee Green also. I didn't forget. My mind is moving 50 million miles a minute sometime because I wanted to move that way. When you're rooted in such meditation and peace and quiet, the enthusiasm can get. When I wake up, I'm a dynamo. I got to sit myself down and say, yeah, slow down, slow down. But personal conflicts and disagreements, you're going to have that. But when it's somebody who has a modicum of influence or power over you in an organization, then you can get blackballed. And sometimes if you are a certain way in your character, you can get blackballed because if you have that supervisor who likes that clingy dress that you have on, it's not meant for him, it's not inappropriate, and he hits on you and you don't give in, now he's mad. He can blackball you. He can try to smear your character. You got to be very careful with this stuff because it's not something that's always evident right away. Nonconformity to established norms. You know, this is what we do around here, and this is how we run things around here, and it's going to stay that way because in this company or this subdivision or this religion, church, mosque, this is the way things done, and we're not changing. There's always that person in an organization or a group that you're entering into that kind of lets you know, even if it's not that direct, that you better conform. And I'm somewhat of a rebellious spirit. No, I don't just go in just to be rebellious, just to be rebellious. I always honor and respect rules, but if it's something that's going to step on my toes and I got to bend who I am, I'm going to state my case and either leave that organization or leave that country or leave whatever it is it may be. I'm not going to sit there and make issues for you and me because I'm not backing down. But this is why you can get blackballed. Even when you stay out of the way of those who are blackballing, but they just want to pick on you and make an example, or they hate the fact that you exist. They hate the fact that you exist with your ideology and you can be independent without begging them for anything. They'll do that remote blackballing big time. Big time. You see what I mean? Controversial or behavior. Of course, you know how that goes. If they have some kind of control over your life, they're going to make you pay for the controversial statements. But if they don't have that kind of control, you can say what you want. But just understand on social media and being online, they can control the algorithms. We use that word, but we don't really understand what it means all the way. Well, I'll do a show just on algorithms one day, right? It's like being in a stream or a river, and the river's flowing a certain way. But one part of the river is flowing a little faster, and you find yourself in that part. But then in an engineered way, there are people who are shooting jets of water, big powerful jets, to push you back or push you to the side or make you go slow. They control the river. It's not like we're that good because when you go on social media, especially YouTube, right, you'll see some foolishness. I mean, some asinine, low vibrational, ignorant foolishness. You're like, man, they got to 2 million hits in a month. But this sister over here talking something that is so healing to the black family, so healing and loving to the black man, and the black man speaking about family and treating this woman right. And you see that all they got was 217 hits. And it's not just about hits, y'all. They can let you think that you got a lot of hits and you didn't get none because they kept it back. And you feel good. Oh, wow, this is going out there. Ain't nobody see it. There's no response in the comment section. There's all kind of technology that they can do. So what do I say? When we make these controversial statements, connect with the real people who feel the same way. Use this thing called social media to get the email addresses of those personally. And for those who can share their number, you got to group up that way. Don't just say hi. Reach out to somebody in the chat room who you've seen over time. You say, man, they're pretty righteous. And if you need me to connect you, you both send me your information and I'll switch it for you and you'll have it that way. That way you don't put something out there, because I have a lot of folks' information I'm not going to give out because I'm ethical that way. You trust me and I'm not going to break that trust. 3 instances of blackballing. Governmental level for political dissent. Of course, somebody's running for an office. I mean, that whole system is crooked anyway. And they feel as though this person's going to beat the favorite, the underground favorite that is designated to win, but they say, man, this person's popular. And here they come with the scandal. Oh, remember 15 years ago, you had a secretary, and yeah, somebody's coming forward with videotapes. The room was bugged. You nasty bugger, you. We saw what you were doing. So you better step out of this race. So we're going to reveal these things, and TMZ's going to get it. We work together. That person's going to win. You're not going to win. And if you think you're going to move forward and don't step down, yeah, you know how we play dirty. We'll find you in a lake or a river somewhere with those concrete shoes. They'll do it that way. Yes, it's not just blackballing. They will snuff you. Blackballing is the precursor to that, right? Entertainment and music industry for controversial figures. When you use the power of their platforms, remember the people that Kanye West had a problem with, right? Their platforms, and you turn around and flip the script on what you want to say while the world is looking at you, they're going to blackball you or they're going to wipe you out. You all remember that tape, the videotape, the recording with Michael Jackson when he was talking about, was it Tommy Mottola and this other one? And you need to know this. You need to know this. And Elvis Presley, I'm not talking in a gay voice. I'm talking in a light Michael Jackson voice. So don't think I'm trying to call him anything that he's not. But Michael Jackson was a real man, even though he might have had issues with his appearance. More and more is coming out about Michael Jackson doing his thing. You need to know this, and there's nobody who could be. And yeah, Sony didn't like me, but it's good business. I had the Beatles, whatever, and they didn't. Oh my God, he came out and said that they had to get him, and then he was making the songs based on Islamic words and oh Allah. He made them. Did you hear those songs? Whether that was his way of worship or religion, doesn't matter to me. It was a brother out there doing this thing, and he spoke truth to the evil power, and they had to get him. And then you have those who work along, who still get blown up. And let's just talk it in the Christian way. The devil, right? You think the devil likes you? No, he can use you a certain way. And when he's done with you, he's going to do you like he does anybody else that he doesn't like. The system is demonic. They will blackball you the moment's notice. You are their marionette puppet. You better tap dance. You're like Lester the puppet. Remember Lester the puppet? Little black puppet used to sit on a black man's lap, and he moved his lips, and the ventriloquist he was talking. That's who you are. You're the puppet. They can fit their hand into the next puppet glove. And there's so many out there that want to be puppets just to get the little bit of fame and notoriety, which is not true fame. It's this engineered stuff. They can make anybody famous. They can promote them over and over and over until the point where you get starstruck. I'm not saying anybody here, but you look, oh, ain't that somewhere? Oh, yeah, well, I want to go get his autograph. Engineered. Back in the day, the stars had to work for it, doing the nightclubs and the clubs, and they may have had a record, but they had to hustle. Now it's a formula. So if they want to influence the kids to the rainbow, we have to compromise it a bit and flavor it that way so they'll be more open. You see? So if you're controversial, they want to get rid of you. So now we have these people that they call stars, which are manufactured, and they know ahead of time what they're supposed to do. We're pushing this agenda. It wasn't like that before. You can't tell me it was like that before. When it was real talent. Now it's not anymore. And of course, if it's real talent, you'll still be able to do your thing out there. But when it's inflated artificially and you step against the rules and say something, they get rid of you quick. And how quickly we forget. We don't support our real creatives anymore. We run after what these other people say we should like. And they bang it in our head over and over and over, whether it's an actor, actress, a musician, a rapper, whoever. And we always got to get their validation because they're going to deem them controversial. Like they say, if you're a friend of my enemy, you're my enemy. If you're an enemy of my enemy, there's more chance of you being my friend. See? So if you do to mine and it ain't me, it's still like you're doing it to me. Number 3, instances of blackballing. Oh no, I went through that one already. I just got to come down the list. Okay, corporate level for whistleblowers. That goes without saying because we know on the corporate level everything is so plastic, so engineered. And I can say this without saying a person's name. They're probably listening. I know someone who happens to be gay, gay man, gay black man, high up in the corporate setting where you know the name of the corporate entity. We all know this name, right? And he was a guy who was conservative and quiet, and he wasn't flaming. Nobody knew that this was what he was into, right? But a very sensitive brother, very caring brother, a brother with a great heart. And I knew of him for a while, and I got a chance to know him and didn't know that that was his flavor, but his other manifestations let me know that this is a quality individual, and this is the way it should be. Even if you're into whatever you're into, it should not be where you pushing this one thing. This guy would give his life. This guy would do anything. Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. And to check this phone call. But the bottom line is that this was a gold level human being. I don't agree or whatever, but that's his personal cross. And they knew that he was that. And I think they came down on him more because he was black. But here's the thing. This is the great lengths that they will go to have you conform with the image in the corporate world. Many who are in the corporate world would agree. I've never been in it per se, but I've been around it a whole lot in my life, living, growing up in New York City, that for him to get higher in that organization, in that corporate world, he had to be married, living with, and no hint of anything homosexual. Although, here's the funny part, 75% of those higher ups who were married in that corporate area, this is what bugged him out, were homosexual. So he had to play the game. You better have this look. 75% at least. 75% at least. Is it drizzling out here? Okay, sometimes this metal roof, when it starts to heat up, it makes this sound. Yeah. And they would check on him every now and then, in a sly way. Have a coworker pass by. Hey, I'm just want to come by and hand you these papers. You didn't get them on Friday. I got to bring them to you. Well, you could have faxed it to me. You could have emailed it to me. And homeboy had to have. I'll go a little further. I'm telling this business, but I'm not saying the name. You'll never know who it is. Beautiful home. Beautiful home. Well, he had to marry his lesbian friend from high school because she was in the same situation. Ain't that something? And they had to have, they had a main bedroom, nice bedroom, pictures of them both on their wedding day and family, everything wholesome. And there was a bathroom on one side of that main bedroom that they both were supposed to share, and there was a bathroom on the other side. So why do you have two bathrooms, one on one side and one on the other? So when somebody pops up and wants to be nosy, and you have your significant, how can I put it, homosexual other over, and the wife had the significant lesbian person over, they can stay in those rooms. And they really didn't occupy the main bedroom because those doors from the other bedrooms were locked, so you can't come in. You had to walk through the main bedroom. So if the wife was with her girlfriend, she's in there. But if somebody popped up, they're in the bedroom. And you can say, hey, come on out. Hold on a second. And you can come out. Things you have to do. What? On a corporate level? They in your business like that. I'm not condoning what they do. I'm not saying it's right. All I'm saying is that to each his own, but we black. And we're going to catch it no matter what faction we're under. And this is why I tell a lot of people who may wave the rainbow flag, don't forget that you black first. You're sitting up here waving that flag. You forgot to wave the red, black, and green flag. You forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. And now to go off topic even more so to even cement what I mean by that, don't take your black wealth, whether you have a rainbow in the background or hidden away somewhere, and feed into the society of the other. What are you, crazy? When there's a brilliant black child out there who may need you to subsidize their schooling to push them over because maybe their family doesn't make enough money. We still need, if you have the money to support a child, look, we still need your black ovaries and your black sperm because they're coming after us. Then give the child to somebody who wants to raise it, if you're healthy. We're targeted, y'all. We ain't got no friends. And it goes beyond blackballing, but that's the beginning. Next, sorority, sports, religious, and community organizations for social dynamics. You know, you have the sororities, and you also have the secret handshake groups. If you don't pop Dixie and do what they say, you know you're out. And you probably will be blackballed in a lot of things that you want to do. And don't think they are everywhere. But just know that I move solo. I move solo. I'm not about secrets from nobody. I'm sorry. No matter how good it looks. Oh, they're this and they're this and they're this. And what are you really doing for your people? Are you a group who's isolated and you want to keep it amongst yourselves and keep secrets and all this stuff? No. The creator, the real creator, does not keep secrets. It's evident right in front of your face. You have a direct relationship with whatever you call that most high, that creator of the universe, whatever you want to call it. God, whatever you want to call it. You didn't just pop here out of nowhere. I don't do the religion thing, but you just didn't pop here out of nowhere. This tall glass iced tea I got right here just popped up out of nowhere. This laptop and computer and microphone I'm talking into, the headphones I'm wearing, it just popped in out of nowhere? No, somebody made it. And this is a lower level stuff. And you, as brilliantly made as you are, will say that you weren't created? And be careful what you honor and be careful what you say you worship. You might find a couple of degrees up that you worshiping demons. That was a coded statement, and I meant that. But sports, yeah, sports now is fixed so much. It's a big business. I was just listening to a boxing clip this morning on how they're fixing these big fights coming up, and the guy made sense, and I agree with him 100%. Everything is so staged now. And if you don't go with the program, you get blackballed. Religious and community organizations for social dynamics. Religion. You come in there, you drive a nice big Lexus and you drive up in the parking lot and go to a church on a Sunday morning and you're not a member? Whoa, they're going to make sure you get to be a member because they want those tithes. They want them offerings. Oh, stand up if this is your first time here. Would you like to make this your church home? They're going to send them people over by your house to see who you live with. They're going to use your bathroom and they're going to try to see how many toothbrushes are in there. If you say you're single, if there's a razor or if there's some man shoes, them church folks can be like daggone social workers back in the 50s and 60s that didn't want a black man in the household. Just to run back, open up your medicine cabinet to see if you're on psych meds. Oh, he thinks she's crazy. Don't push her. I got a girlfriend work by the psych ward. I want to see. We're going to run her name. All the things that are done make you want to rope-a-dope the world and just stay away from it. But we have to deal because if we're going to be revolutionaries and change the world for the better for us, then we got to have to stick our necks out sometimes. Blackballing within families due to personal conflicts. We haven't talked in 3 years. We haven't talked in 5 years. And there's some who have such toxicity and mess in these families and some of these entities. Good, do not talk to me. You're doing me a favor. You marry into situations. You got weirdo, narcissistic, dysfunctional in-laws who they have their long-held secrets down down through the generations, and there's things that you're not supposed to talk about. But when you're verbal and you're outspoken and you communicate, you say things that and you shine a light on what they don't want to hear about. And now they're blackballing you. Good. Take your dysfunctional ass, blackball me, and do me the favor of not having to be around my powerful life force, because you drain me being around with stuff and that funky stuff that you don't want to exercise out of your life. Stay right over there. You doodled in your pants emotionally. I don't want to smell the stink. Stay over there. I like it where I am here, where I can breathe freely. I don't need nobody, because let me tell you something. When you stand next to somebody who doodled their pants, symbolically, right? People look at you like you're the one who got mess in your pants. I don't want anybody thinking that about me. So you stay right on over there. That's the best way. Political organizations for dissenting voices. We pretty much covered that already. Same thing. But political organizations. And if you come up believing and pushing this ideology, but then you see something inside the organization that you don't like and say, no, I don't think I'm with that. Even if you discover something and you're a threat, you didn't say anything about it, but they have to come and smear you first. Number 4, negative effects on the individual. Psychological, isolation, depression, anxiety. Isolation. Can you handle being isolated? Right? Did that group mean so much to you, or did it take up so much of your life that when you're isolated from it, it hurts you? You got to decide that. See, so my father always told me, if a table had 25 legs under it and you pull out 8 of them, the table's still going to stand. The table can possibly stand only with 3 legs under it. So the more legs you have under your table, meaning the more things that you're connected to, the more varied things that you're involved in. I don't mean you have to do so much, but if you have varied interests where the weight of this one organization or people who are blackballing you is reduced, then okay, go. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. And there are people out here and there are organizations out here that think you're going to be crushed because you're not down with them anymore. Especially when you're the one who put them on a map. That's the crazy part. You know, what you're doing is going to die. Die? What you mean? I put you on. You know, how you going to do that? This is what I'm here to do. And this is why it's always important to be strong in your momentum of knowing who you are, knowing yourself, knowing what your mission is. Because you see, you can have people that can come into your life to hijack you mentally and have you like a prostitute while they're a pimp, you thinking that they're crucial to your, and that was a bad example. They think that you think that they're crucial to everything that you've earned on your own. Imagine that. That woman goes out there and makes this money and gives it to this man. And when he spends a little on her, she tells some other women, oh, I'm so grateful to have a man spend money on me. Look what you did to make the money. Ain't it crazy? Let me stand up. Oh, I started feeling like a bus driver after a while. You know, you're sitting down so much. Oh, my legs. Lord have mercy. Anyway, let's move on down. That was a psychological depression and anxiety. Depression from being blackballed. Look, me reading these words is not just for show or whatever. If you can be depressed after being blackballed, that means that one leg under the table of you carried too much weight. Always have options. Every level that you're on in life, when you're on a certain job, it affords you an insight into the workings of that area of expertise. So learn it. Get contacts. Expand. Because if they want to now rip your world from under you, the world that you're connected to on that job or organization or religious organization or social organization, then you're done. You're done. You're done. Financial, limited job opportunities, loss of income. Yeah. If you're in a certain field, and say, for example, it might be a certain race of people or a certain category of people, category, we'll call it that control the media, hint, hint, and you say something about them to one and they can prove it. And even when they can't prove it, they're going to run with it. And all of a sudden you're going to have less opportunities, and maybe it will hurt your income a little bit. But then again, why around these people or anybody? Ground yourself. Learn as much as you can. It may feel as though you're fighting an uphill battle, but there's a proving ground to yourself and to the world that you have learned and you moved on. You want to take time and blackball me? Maybe I'll reduce a little bit. Maybe I'll downsize a little bit, but I'm still going to do what it is that I'm supposed to do, that I love to do. You have something inside yourself that you are blessed with as far as a creative gift or something on a cerebral level. And you mean the external has the power to snuff you out? They may stop you from being in their organizations or having their connections that they afforded you to, but you still got your drive. You still have that God-given gift. You mean you need these people who don't have any creativity at all, but because they set up an area or this way and contacts, and no, I'll take less. I'll still do what I do. And the people that appreciate me, that look like me, that vibe like me, whether they look like me or not, will be there to support me. You have these artists out here who make all these millions of dollars for a time that can be taken away if you say something the wrong way, or if you don't really want to get down with what they want you, these things that are coming out. Harvey Weinstein wanted to give Cat Williams a blowjob. Could you? I mean, it was already the Me Too thing. I mean, he couldn't be happy with, I'm not saying happy with violating women, but he had to jump the other side too. He was all over the place. Imagine a man like that. Hey, Cat, can I go down on you? Oh my God. Cat Williams, I'm not dead. Oh, I'm not with that. If Cat Williams is who he's portraying himself to be, more power to him. More power to him. You know what I mean? And I'm not going against him now, but the thought hit me. He's bold to say the things that he's saying. A lot of us are. Fearless. That's to be applauded. But is this part of the plan? Is this part of the plan? Is Cat Williams one of the, I'm not saying he is. I'm not a hater. But look at it this way. Is Cat Williams part of the plan of distraction? Listen, Cat, we want you to say all these things about these people. We have them under control. They're not going to say anything. We have something happening in May or June of this year that's going to, but we have to lead up to it. We can't have people connect the dots on other things. So we need you. Just a possibility, or me just thinking out loud. Me just thinking out loud. That's why I said, if he is who he claims to be, I got his back 100%. But we know how crafty this world could be. You see? Mental, the stress and the trauma, loss of income, people who are down with this money-making machine or industry don't want to be seen around you. So all of a sudden now, you know, the stress and the trauma is hitting you hard. Nobody calls you anymore. They're afraid to be seen coming to your house or maybe at the mall with you. They don't say it. They'll cancel those little things, and you realize they don't want to be bothered with you because the big boss, I'm not saying it's the big boss, I'm saying to be sarcastic. The big boss, or that powerful entity that's only going to be powerful for a little while, they're not going to have power for eternity. If we walk away from these things, it collapses. What are we afraid of? We're the ones propping it up. We're looking at our power in them that they hijacked, and we gave them permission to walk with our power. All this money that's being made in Hollywood that we create. Now, there's others that are in Hollywood that create, right? Let them keep their part. But us, the music and entertainment, all the inventions, all of the brilliance that we don't even think we did, and we got to walk around scared. If we pull it back, it collapses. If their table has 3 legs and we're 1 leg and we pull it away, their table falls. I don't see no table balancing on 2 legs unless the wind blows strategically and perfect for a little while, but it's still going to fall. That's our power we're looking at. We're afraid of our own power. We should look and understand that we're generating so much for ourselves. How dare we be so ignorant? On a spiritual level, loss of belonging, identity crisis. And really, If we are truly connected on a spiritual level, sincerely, those who are with you will always be with you. You won't have an identity crisis because it's not to be identified with anything or any faction of this earth. The spiritual connection is so direct. You can't take my spiritual connection away from me and nature, which to me is the greatest manifestation of God. I'll say God, but you should call it this. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say this, the one who made us, y'all. You go to a different country with a banana and they're going to call it a different name. It's still a banana, right? It's crazy. Oh, the things we fight over in infighting. But no. If you're truly connected to me on a spiritual level, whether you're a little more advanced than me or not, well, guess what? We're never going to lose that connection. Religious foolishness can't stop it. Well, she don't come to the church no more and she ain't giving no tithes no more. So, I'm not really saying to reach out to her, but, you know what I mean? Maybe she needs to stay on by herself for a while until she come to the holy Methodist Baptist flock of the gossip, of the spirit of gossip. I don't know. Let's make up some church names. I'm going to do that for another show coming up. We're going to have some fun with that. But yeah, to be so isolated, it's crazy, right? Physical health deterioration due to stress. Stress is a hell of a thing. Let me tell you something. If you tell a man who has a weak heart or a woman who has a weak heart that there's somebody around the corner in the dark with a gun who's waiting to try to assassinate them, and they really internalize this, you don't need to shoot the gun to kill them. They'll die from stress because it's what's in their mind. And so you got to understand that when you're blackballed, it's a mental game. If you sit down and sit in the house, now if you have a home office or a home business or you have certain hours where you have to stay at home, that's one thing. I'm not saying run around in the street, but keep moving. You can move while even being inside. I don't really hardly come off the property anymore unless I have to go into town to pick something up. And many times people don't even see me. But I'm moving forward. I'm getting work done. I'm getting a lot done. And that can't be stopped. Unless you're going to bust down the concrete walls. Oh, stop. Don't do it no more. But there's stress and the perception of something bad happening. Hey, do yourself some music therapy. Think back, just like when they have the computers, they say, well, the computer's not working now, but hit F2 or F11 or whatever it is, and go back to the prior configuration of when this computer was working fine. Well, you know what? You got to hit one of them F buttons and say F you to the daggone present that's trying to depress you, and go back to one of the times when you were feeling free and feeling good. Think about it. Go play a song from back at that time. Go play one. I guarantee you, go on YouTube now and play one of your favorite songs when life was just what you thought was great, and look in the sideboard. It's going to pull up something else. Oh, I remember that one too. And you're going to realize you're all Prozac'd up. I don't mean take Prozac. I'm saying it as a figure of speech, meaning that you're going to be so overjoyed and you're going to be like, wait a second. It was just 30 minutes ago that I was feeling so depressed. Look at that. Music therapy. That's what I call it. And that's why you can't let people push their music on you that's going to depress you. Or you get the conversation with somebody who's supposed to be a friend and they start saying little things to blow your bubble out of positivity. You stay away and isolate yourself from these people. You know what I mean? Blackballed is doing you a favor because you don't have to be around the toxic people who would think that they have this control and power over you where they can just go and blackball you like that. Blackball you. I'm blackballing you then. And when I left my job, I said, it's been nice, but I have to let you guys go. well, what are you going to do? How are you going to make it? Trying to inject fear in me. I said, man, sometimes there are times when you know that you can move a little faster. It's nothing personal, but I'm growing beyond this right now. I wish you all the best. And they watch me on Facebook and watch me on YouTube. And damn it, we're still here and he's out there free. Because you took a calculated move and you empowered yourself before people make a certain move on you. It's like, why was I getting more complaints that didn't exist? Why were there fabricated accidents that I obviously didn't or wasn't at fault for, but you're trying to write me up and blame me after all these years and I'm one of your best drivers? All right. I got something for you. Surprise. Pay me. It may not be the full term of all them decades, but you know what? You got no other choice but to do that. And now that I have that, let's move on. Huh? That's how you have to do them. And with people who can possibly blackball you, or you sniff blackballing coming, you better have your plan ready, or you'll be sitting up, oh, what am I going to do? No. For the minute you get to a new level in life, and you know, and you watch how some of these corporate entities, these jobs, these churches, these houses of worship, whatever, how they do other people, you better start building up your storehouse and think ahead of time. This is the problem with so many of us. When things are good, we're not thinking ahead of time. When things are good, look, I know a guy who was so daggone retarded that when he got the urge to do number 2, he said, oh, I think I better go and get some toilet paper. Well, that's going to be a messy trip to the store. You going to hold it that long? You know you're going to get hungry. Store up on some food. It's bright and nice outside, and well, it's late at night and I'm hungry, and you want to eat now? You're on your own. It's crazy how people don't think. And they get caught up in this euphoria. I got the job. But then you're walking into somebody else's mess because there's other people who had bad situations there. Whenever you have human beings who are not trying to ascend to go higher, guess what? You walking into somebody else's mess. Hey, man, man, I was at the library the other day, man. There was this girl sitting there, man. Well, you know, she's a woman and everything, but man, she was fine. She had these tight jeans on, man. She got up to get the book. I had to talk to her. And, you know, she got her own business too, man. When she hopped out there, man, it was an older Lexus, but it was a Lexus, man. And she had her own place. I got a number. We're talking, and, you know, her man left her 2 years ago. So, you know, one man's trash is another man's gold. Whatever. And then you realize that what you saw, what you were thinking was something so good. And then 2 months later, you talking to your friend, man, I can't wait. I got to leave her alone, man. I don't know why I found myself in this situation. And the same thing goes for the men or the women who find what they think is a good man. Not that all men are bad, right? I'm just saying there's these situations that we jump into and we get blackballed or we get disappointed. So you have to be careful, right? Effects on the family, financial strain due to limited job opportunities, emotional impact on family members, strain on relationships within the family. You might be making it, and not barely making it, but making it, but not making it. You both still have to work, but now you don't have a job or a way of making money. Because of this blackballing, it's going to affect the family. You got to tell the children what you can't do for them anymore. Well, little Johnny, Christmas is going to be tight this year, but you shouldn't be spending your money on that anyway. I'm just saying as an example that we all know. You see? And the wife now, a little extra money she had aside, although she contributed, now she has none because it all has to be used. And now things are tight. And you wonder why she's tense at night. You trying to put your hands on her and she ain't thinking about that. It's not that she's a prostitute. It's not that she just wants you to make money for you to have a little loving. But a woman's, it's in her nature to be secured. Yes, our sisters are doing it for themselves. And they can do it for themselves. But we know how the system is made up anyway where it's going to favor them. Not to diminish their accomplishments. But when things are tight, she ain't in the mood. Her mind is thinking and she's not. That's for you to do the heavy lifting with this, brother. And when she's secured, things flow. And oh boy, do things flow. I'll say it like that. Early signs and prevention. That's number 6. Notice changes in interpersonal dynamics. Be cautious of sudden isolation. Maintain professionalism and ethical behavior. Cultivate positive relationships. But those first 2 there, early signs. Notice changes in interpersonal dynamics. Folks are not as friendly as they were. What do they know? What were they hearing? Are you about to be blackballed? Be cautious of sudden isolation. Of course. And what does that signal? They know the hatchet is going to, the axe is going to come down, and they don't want to be nowhere near when that guillotine drops down over your neck because they don't want any blood on their shirts. But the way to prevent it, maintain professionalism and ethical behavior. Don't give them a reason to blackball you. And cultivate positive relationships if they're receptive, because they may not want to be bothered with you. You call and call and call that person who always gave you, the heads up on the job, but they don't pick up no more. They don't even call you no more. Number 7, legitimate reasons for blackballing. Legitimate? Of course. Criminal activity. Right. They're going to get rid of you. Fraud. They're going to get rid of you. Severe misconduct. They're going to get rid of you. Stupid. You get a perfect working record. And you do something criminal, don't complain. Well, they blackballed me. Well, why would they blackball you? Well, we showed up on the weekend with the maintenance people. We stole 3 of the big computers. Well, you better be glad that's all they did was blackball you. You'd be locked up somewhere. Fraud and severe misconduct. You cuss out somebody. Oh yeah, and she don't like me, and I cuss her ass out. And yes, I did it in the break room. Everybody heard it. And that woman who you cussed out, who you thought had an attitude with you, might have had a husband who not only did he cheat on her, but they found that he had a terminal illness. And now the children are messing up in school. You don't know what people are going through. I mean, that situation, I knew of a situation like that. It wasn't where they had the terminal illness, but this woman's husband transitioned. She found out that he's been with like hundreds of women while they were married, right? So how's that? You crying because you miss him and it hurts, and then it hurts that way? Like, what are you, crying and mad at the same time? I'm not making fun, but he cheated on me. I miss him. That's enough to make you bipolar, mess you up. Not making fun. But those are the legitimate reasons. Wow. They have another one. Recuperating from unjustified blackballing. Legal action, if applicable. Seek public support. Skill development and rebranding. Networking with supportive circles. Yeah, you can take the legal action. Yeah, you can seek public support. And you know how iffy people can be. Well, I support you, man, but I can't be seen in public, man. I got to hold on to my job. I don't want no trouble. Okay, go on and tap dance somewhere else. Because you know what? When I support somebody, I support them. I don't give a damn who don't like it. If I feel they're in the right and they've been wronged, I'm going to support them. I'm going to support them. Always. And if I ditch you, it's because I caught you up in something. Now, I don't even get no explanation. Just get away from me. You know what I mean? But the way of skill development, that's wonderful. And rebranding. Come back. Look, if Bill Clinton can come back as an elder statesman and be respected, I know he has the white privilege going on, but if he can be getting blowjobs in the White House, getting head, he ain't the only one that, but Monica Lewinsky and the dress and I did not have sex with that woman. You might not have had intercourse, man. But anything that results in orgasm is something when you're married that's inappropriate, right? Come on. Chicknology. You know you did it. And you got a history of doing that. And the Clintons have a history. You know the Clintons' history. Snuffing people and I'm telling you, for real, wicked. If he can come back from that, you can come back from that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying skill development and rebranding. Let me take a sip of my iced tea for a second. Hold on, y'all. Well, it's not iced anymore. Everything melted. It is what it is. Yes. Thriving independently after blackballing. Build an independent brand. You should be building this somehow, some way, whether it's on the internet or not. And whatever you do, you can put it on the internet. It doesn't have to be where it's just a platform. It could be some kind of small business, large business, small business that you work to become medium and bigger. It could be something that is geographical, right? A business that serves your community that you can get to. Then own them. I don't mean own them like you're trying to have people as slaves, but rock that category of business that you have. Own it. Dominate it. If you can't, slim it down to a narrower niche. Be known for what you do. Keep hammering away. Be the best. You observe others, but you have your own personality. You have your own way. They can blackball you all that they want, but if you're good, they can't stop you. And networking with supportive circles, some will turn their back on you, but be there with the ones who not only believe in you, but know in you. If you see some guy that's drunk on the corner, outside of the liquor store, begging, urinated up his pants, hey man, you know, I'm gonna get online, right? I'm gonna get online, right? I got a friend, right? We gonna do a podcast and the breath, and we gonna talk about and so, you know, come on, man. But listen, I'm not putting myself up over anybody. But if I say sometime tomorrow in the afternoon, we're gonna have a discussion about. Because I do the damn thing, and you trust that I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it. Now, if a mishap happens, as things have happened before, and I thought Lance was going to have a show, and something popped up. But this is what I do. So you don't have to doubt me. No. The time that I put into it, you don't have to doubt me. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and maybe 10 of those minutes, there was no sound in the beginning. But I'm here. I'm all in. Instead of me being on the street corner talking psychobabble to somebody, let's come here and talk sense. You know what I mean? Let's talk some sense. Let's vibe with each other that way. Let's build each other up. Right? Indigo King may have a business in his area. Then, even though this platform goes like all over, well, we can have a show and put in a title where he lives, his area, the targeted area. And people say, oh man, LANCESCURV talking about this particular area. What's going on there? And we funnel everybody that way. Take what you got and help other people. Other people take what you got and help these other people do it. None of us should be blackballed and crushed. The community should come to the aid of those who have been blackballed where they didn't do criminal activity, fraud, or severe misconduct. We understand. We're not going to support that. But there should be none of us at fault. Look at Monique, blackballed in Hollywood for a long time. You see? And there's stories on both sides. I don't know the whole thing, the way they speak it, but she's kind of coming around again. But we should support those who are blackballed. We should show those other communities who feel that they rule us that, no, they come together. If we did, but you know, when is that going to happen? Because so many of us are already scared. So the blackballing can go on. If we blow these people up who do the blackballing unjustly, again, I'm not supporting criminal activity, fraud, and severe misconduct. No. But we're not ride or die for each other. Hell, most of us are not even ride or die for our significant other. we still doubting. We still don't know if we can commit. And we end up transitioning and never tasting the sweetness of life because life can be very good. Thriving independently after blackballing. Build an independent brand. Entrepreneurship or freelancing. Seek alternative networks and opportunities. Demonstrate growth and rehabilitation. Rehabilitation. You may have been in something and it wasn't too good. You might have been into the drugs or too much alcohol or whatever, and you rehabilitated yourself. And after that, the stigma is still going to be on you until you prove yourself. You know, it doesn't seem like he's been drinking for the last 2 years. Maybe we should give him a chance. Seems like he's been off those drugs. He's been clean. He's been going to the gym. He looks very healthy. Maybe we should give him a chance. I know a guy who, how could I put it? No, it wouldn't blow him up. He fell severely to crack. Severely! Back in the 70s, this man was so brilliant that they gave him a write-up in a major black magazine in the 70s after he graduated from a high-level college. And he fell a few years later to crack. and found himself in Central Park, New York, in a blizzard, sleeping in the icy snow. And he said he could tell us 67 different ways on how to keep warm with a hefty bag. He had a crazy sense of humor. He made you laugh, but it was damn, brother, it was that bad? A write-up as one of the rising cerebral powers in our community. The magazine started with the letter E. It's still around today. You're still not going to know who it is. And he fell so hard. He didn't look to a refrigerator or a plate to get his meal. He knew the affluent restaurant to go to eat out of their dumpsters and nearby garbage cans. He told it all. And then, when working a part-time job with me after work, it was a part-time job that some friends of mine were in, and it was basically sorting mail. And it was like, we got to hang out. So, man, it's just 4 hours. Come on, Lance, man, just come out there with us, man. We're going to hang out with all these other people. And you always telling jokes, man, they'll love you. So I came out there. Man, we had fun. I was like, man, give me some weekend hours. I like this. You gonna work on the weekend, Lance? Yeah, man, come on, let's go. This before I was doing this stuff, social media stuff, right? And it wasn't paying $1 million. It was enough. But really, it was like $10 an hour, I think it was. That was way back in the 90s, right? But it was the fact that we could hang out. We made our own little breaks. The whole job, the whole thing was a break. The supervisors were hanging. It was a law firm. And as they began to not need as many people because they would have different cases and, you know, different, what do you call it now? A certain type of case where it's all of these people and they have to put out all of this mail, right? They started to let some people go. And the people they liked or the people who worked the best or they felt had potential, I wasn't looking for it. I was just there with my friends and all day long we were telling jokes. I wish I had a tape recorder there. It was joke session, right? And the names of the envelopes and the mail that we had to sort. Some of those names I'll never forget. Not to get off subject, I just had to put it down like that. We would just call out the name. Oh, look at this one here. What's the name? Dick Yanker. I'll never forget that. I'd have to change my name, or just say Richard Yanker. And you know, white boys will say Richard means Dick. His name is Dick Yanker. There was some other names of that I'll be somewhere. I'm not going to call that on myself. I'm somebody's old folks home with all and I'm Dick Yanker. I won't forget that one. Who was Muhammad Ali? I don't remember. I remember Dick Yanker. No. But when they saw his resume after they started to get rid of more and more people, which they held on to me and they said, well, do you want a permanent position? I'm like, no, I got something I'm doing already. I just came here, you know. But we'll consider you just in case, you know. Okay, cool. They saw his resume and they put him, I forgot the exact title, but it was one of the top accountants. He was under the main accountant because you know they don't put a black man over your money like that. But they gave him access to multi-million-dollar accounts. Now, I would never call him this, but I'm only saying this for effect. What the world would say is a crackhead living out in the snow and the ice in Central Park, New York, eating out of garbage cans and dumpsters, stinking because he couldn't get a shower only but so many times. Now he's over and commandeering multi-million-dollar accounts. I'm not saying that in amazement of the other man's system. I'm just saying that while we may call him that, we may not have known what he was before, getting written up in the magazine and graduating with high honors with high honors. And now look at him. And you know, he fell again and he bounced back again. And I do feel this time, this is permanent. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, I went off on a long tangent, right? But it's all about thriving independently. The independent brand, entrepreneurship, freelancing. You can bounce back from that. You know, you can bounce back from that. Pursuing professional goals, post blackballing. Evaluate the possibility of a fresh start. Seek mentorship, and support from allies. Emphasize skills and accomplishments. Your skills and accomplishments will never leave you, no matter what. Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson and lost right after that to Evander Holyfield, and whatever else happened, we don't know. But Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. For those who were there in, what was it, 1990? Was it February or January? February, I think it was. You'll never forget it. He did that. And so we need to draw strength from the things that we've accomplished in our life. Even if it's 40, 50 years old, we have to draw strength from that because we did that. Stop looking at what someone did to you or say you can't do or you're blackballed or whatever. You accomplished some things evidently. You had value with them. Build on that. The fresh start, mentorship. Emphasize your skills and accomplishments because it can't be taken away. Avoiding blackballing. Be mindful of behavior and ethical standards. Doesn't mean you're scared, but just don't go there. Build positive relationships. Address conflicts proactively. Don't let it sit down where it can fester up. You got garbage? You take it out the house. You don't let it sit there and say, well, I'll save 7 trips and take it out on the 7th day. Your house is going to be stinking. If you have any conflicts with people, correct it because they may go say something about you while they have the conflict. And if you even correct it with them, what they said over time is out there. So now you all are cool now, but there's that stigma. Take care of it immediately, right? Immediately. The possibility of thriving independently, challenging but not impossible. Success stories exist. Showcasing results requires determination, skill development, and strategic planning. You see, and there's a whole lot more I wrote down, but I think I covered most of it. It doesn't mean you have to be scared, but just be aware. You don't walk in fear, but understand you're in somebody else's system 9 times out of 10 in America. And you do have people around you who act like they love you, but they don't. They drop a little dime on you, make up stuff, have a reason to not want to see you thrive. It's all there. And it's not about being negative. It's about being armed with the right knowledge. Beverly Scott, good morning. How are you? And I know that there are many people who came into the chat room probably that I didn't acknowledge because I had a different screen open. I just had the one computer up. But I always say I'm going to come back later on and end up doing something and don't do it, but there will be something else up. I don't care if it's a 10-minute video that I upload. There will be something else up. So for me, while you have a wonderful morning, right, on the East Coast, if you're on the East Coast, it's 1:32 for me. And out here, for some reason, once it hits 2 o'clock, zoop, it's 6 o'clock and it's dark. So I have 4 hours and 28 minutes of sunlight to get certain things done that I have to get done. So, even though, old LANCESCURV does this thing on the internet, I still have house chores to do and I still got the regular things to do. You know what I mean? Because I got to share the responsibility. And I don't want to disrespect Mrs. SCURV. That's why I got to do what I got to do. So, yeah, I'm glad you're fabulous, Beverly Scott. And I'm just glad. I'm going to have a ball reading all these comments because I didn't see them. I was reading off my notes. But I know Raw Reality, Kevin Wetterbaum, everybody, I know you all made some serious comments. I'm going to have a ball reading them. And like I said, I'm going to pin this to the top. I should pin this to the top. I want to pin this link to the top. And remember to go to LANCESCURV.com. I like the comments on the actual website because sometimes they remove comments or they stop you from leaving comments. And that sucks. And there are people who take their time and really write some long, nice things that have gotten through and some things that haven't gotten through. So it's like, okay. And it discourages them from participating that way because, like I said, and I say it all the time, I'm blessed to have such a wonderful chat room family. Now I'm going to make this URL take a few things off of it because it won't let me put it out there. So I'm going to take a few things off, but you'll know what it is. And that's the exact. Now I got to go on my other YouTube and pin it to the top because so many people will watch this for 2 minutes. Hey, I'm not going to watch that long show, but I can't help it. I got to put it down. I can't help it. I got to make sure understand probably hearing double. Let me mute this, put this up. That's in the chat room, but I also have to pin it. And I can only pin it when I'm in the actual YouTube. So we'll pin it right there. And all the other contact information for those who want to contact me and, you know, support and just other links and merchandise and all that stuff is down in the description area below. And always go to LANCESCURV.com and everything. Yes, Billy, we are making long and good. You know, I don't want to get on there. Now, you know, I'll record something, get to the point for 10 minutes and boom. I'm in the mood to do that today too. There's a couple of things I want to talk about that are not show worthy. And I did want to go up on in the back, you know, by the balcony and put it down out there. I might do that still. I'm going to do something later on, but I do have some things that I really have to, you know, take care of right now. And just thanks for rolling with me and bearing with me with everything. I really appreciate it. There'll be a lot more new things coming that we're working on that I thought I would have been, you know, accomplished already. You know what I mean? But it's like, wait a second, January always runs. It gets too quick. It's the first month. We're thinking this is a brand new year. And the first month goes. You know what I mean? But my thing, like a boxing match, I want to start out strong. I want to end up strong. I want the middle to be strong. And between the beginning and the middle, I want to maintain, not lose ground. And between the middle and the end, I want to maintain and not let the opponent win any rounds and not lose ground. So that means you got to keep your hands moving, but you have to think, maintain your balance, check what's in the tank. You understand? Check what's in your gas tank. You don't want to run out with a spectacular performance for the first 3 months and burn out, and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs for the next 9 months. You want to be consistent. And that's one thing, whether a person loves me or doesn't love me or considers himself an enemy or a fan, I've been consistent over these last 23 years. Well, I can't say 23 years until next month. Well, give or take. You know, people lie about their age, so I can nip off a month or a couple weeks, right? Anyway, let me run. Thank you all so much for being here. I can't thank you enough. LANCESCURV out. Peace. Have a wonderful day. And I hope you enjoyed the information shared on this show. Much love. Peace.